Hey guys, I'm Kenny, and today we're going to go over some jQuery. Today we're going to talk about the this selector and jQuery's each loop in order for you to write cleaner and easier to maintain code. Today we're going to hop over to our HTML file, which has 6 buttons, and our JavaScript file that we're going to do some dynamic stuff to each button. So, for example, I've seen many people write out IDs for each button so they can have different functions for each button. This can get very repetitive, very hard to manage, and definitely stressful for anyone else that has to go into your code to debug some problems. For example, I have 6 buttons, so instead of writing button 1 and then a callback and writing this out five more times and having a total of 6 functions that do the same thing pretty much, I'm going to use this selector. So before we get any deeper, I'm going to store my class, which I have here, button, as a variable. That way, we don't have to write our whole selector every single time we want to use it, and this caches our selector, so it's a little more efficient for the browser. So let's try something. Let's say whenever the button is clicked, let's initialize a button function. So let's write our function and button, and let's see something. Let's see if we append a string to each button. I've been clicked. Let's see what happens if we try this. Let me click a button. Now they all get that I've been clicked. That's not what we want, right? So instead of writing the button, let's use this. And now let's give it a shot. Perfect. Now only the button that we've clicked has gotten any events or anything we want to add to it initialized. So that's what the this does. This refers to the actual element that you clicked on, which is very helpful again, like you won't have to write this 6 times. So let's do something else. Let's use the this and the each loop with jQuery. So we have 6 buttons, but let's say we want to add button 1, button 2, button 3, button 4. Let's create a variable called button nums, and we'll have that as an array. We'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Cool. So we have 6 items in our button nums array. Let's do this. Let's each through our button by grabbing the selector. We'll each through, have a callback, and let's do this. Button append button num. Button nums. Okay, so before we do anything, we'll want to pass in something like index into our function, and then pass that into here. That way, each iteration of this will grab the next item, we'll grab the index of the button, and pass that index number to from our array. So let's try this. Let's refresh our page, and we'll see that our buttons get each item in that array. However, we only want this index number to be passed in. So we'll do this, and now our buttons have button 1, button 2, button 3, button 4, button 5, button 6. Perfect. And that is exactly what we want. Now, let's see here. There's so many other things you can do that are very helpful with this. For example, we could also do attributes. So like, let's say we wanted to add data num as an attribute, and for our value, we needed that index, or we needed a unique number without having to hard code it in. We can just pass in index as the value. So if we go in here, inspect our buttons, you'll see that each button has its own unique value corresponding with that index. That's super helpful and eliminates you from having to write repetitive code. And that's it for today with jQuery and the this selector and the each loop. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below, hit that like button, subscribe, And stay tuned for future videos where I will be diving into ES6 and a lot of other fun JavaScript and web development stuff. Thank you. Bye.